England 0, Iceland 1. An embarrassing end to the friendlies before Euro 2024 begins. Another uninspiring, lukewarm, placid, redundant performance from England tonight. Absolutely shocking. The team, I think it's trying to play more expansively all of a sudden, which will be a shock to their systems as a unit. Of course, a lot of them playing expansive and attacking teams at club level. But this is about relationships. This is about chemistry. And I said it on the top six so yesterday, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope Southgate does it and delivers another tournament. But I think there's too much inexperience and too many players that haven't played together before in an England team that suddenly is trying to play more expansively, that suddenly is trying to be a little bit more open. And I think as a collective, there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with it. We know the manager isn't going to, some people here saying Southgate out. Look, he isn't going to be dismissed before the tournament, this close to the tournament, although part of me feels like he almost should be, but he is here now. But this is just absolute. It was just awful to watch. They're not a very good team, Iceland. They're really, really not. And it was just, as I said at the beginning, lukewarm, flaccid, boring. And that was right across the park. I will say, when the substitutions were made later on, I thought Trent came on and had an impact in terms of Kyle Walker did a lot of running around, but did little with the ball. Trent comes on, he starts delivering balls into the box, making it difficult for Iceland, breaking some lines. I thought Eze, I wasn't very impressed with Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side. He found himself in the correct positions, but his final ball or his shooting was awful. So I was glad to see Eze come on. I'd have liked to have seen Eze come on a little bit sooner. I thought that Gordon looked like a fish out of water. Who else should we talk about? Harry Kane missing sitters tonight. Cole Palmer, I thought, played well. General play very good. Some really good deliveries into the box, but had two gilt-edge opportunities to score, fouled to shoot, took the ball into positions that you can't shoot from, and then still decided to shoot. The decision-making at international level, not quite there for the man tonight, who, look, has had an impeccable season. Really excited about his England career and future, but not his game tonight. I thought it was an anonymous night this evening for Phil Foden. Nearly everything that he tried didn't come off. In midfield, Rice and Mainu, I thought both played well, generally speaking, but with the manager asking, it was predominantly Mainu, but asking one of them to always push forward so they weren't sitting in a sort of very defensive double pivot. The other one was left exposed by the overarching shape. So they looked like they were caught out of position a lot, both of them, but it was more to do with the way England were told to shape. But I thought they did all right. You look at defensive, I thought Gahey had a good game. I thought Trippier did okay defensively, poor going forward. Walker, as I said, out of position multiple times on the night. We're lucky we didn't lose 2-0 for him being out of position. And I thought John Stones, who looks like he may have picked up an ankle injury, was slow after that. He weren't right. And his big mistake massively led to the first goal, or the only goal of the game. So I think individually tonight, there were lots of individually poor performances. And I'm definitely going to focus more on the Kanes and the Fodens of this world, the Walkers, the Stones, who are our experienced players. The one thing I would say about Anthony Gordon, Palmer, Mainu, is these are fledglings in general football, let alone at international level. You really need to rely on your senior and your core players to be stepping up and taking the game by the scruff of the neck, and they didn't do it. But overall, I think this is down to the manager. I think he has put together a squad that barely knows one another. He's put together a team that he's now asking to play in a new way. And there's no chemistry. You could see that tonight. There was very, very. I was watching Trent and Saka, and by name, I'm like, Trent and Saka on the right. It's exciting from an attacking point of view. I mean, how often have they played together? I'm so intrigued to see the starting lineup in 9 days' time, because I understand why he left Rashford and Grealish and these guys out. But sometimes you have to weigh this up and say, okay, who's had a good season, who hasn't? But is there a relationship between the players in the squad? Do they know how to play with each other? Do they understand each other's game? Can we teach that in 1.5 friendlies before a tournament starts? No. And if you weren't going to bring Grealish and Rashford because their form wasn't good enough, well, in the last couple of international breaks, bring in the new guys, give them more game time to build the relationships. It's simple maths, and we haven't done that. But as I say, overall, just frustrated beyond degree. I can't even articulate it. I'm so frustrated going into a tournament. I know we won 3-0 on Monday, but we scraped it. We were awful. We lose 1-0 tonight. No chemistry, a young squad, barring Harry Kane, barely any goals in this squad. Centre-back problems for days, but yet we leave Quansah and Braithwaite at home. And yeah, worried indeed. And I know there'll be a lot of England fans that are going to get tribal. There'll be some, Palace fans might attack Mainu because they want Wharton to play. Chelsea fans are going to attack Saka. Arsenal fans are going to attack Palmer and the like. Everyone might attack Harry Kane. I don't know. This ain't about tribalism. This isn't about, they're all England players right now. I couldn't give a damn which club they play for. And if you do, then you're not an England fan. You're just not. If you're telling me you're putting your club before country, great. I respect that. But you're not an England fan, so fuck off. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to hear any of that nonsense because it's irrelevant. I want honest opinions. And this England team just looks disorganized, unhappy, lacks cohesion. And I am very, very worried indeed. What I mean is, why I say you're not really an England fan, I get everyone's got club agendas and I respect them for club football, but I'm actually concerned about my country not being very good. And I want to know what the answer is. This manager, Southgate, needs to stay away from Man United. Well, we all hope so. Why keep experimenting with the team 2 weeks before the Euros kicks off? 1 week. 1 week it is. Shouldn't he be putting his first 11 into this sort of game? Well, as best he can. I mean, in fairness, Saka and Bellingham, Saka's only just returned to light training. Bellingham's only just joined the squad, I think, today or yesterday. So he wasn't going to play his full-strength team. But none of us, this is the point, Jules, none of us have any idea what his full-strength team is. None of us have any idea. Evening, Terry and everyone. Trent Alexander-Arnold should start for England in the Euros. He came on, played well. Fans saying leaves England left exposed at the back. England still cannot win with that. Listen, Trent came on and was excellent. And he's been noticed. And I've been critical of Trent in his career for his defensive mishaps. I've also this season spoke about how much better he has been. Now, I understand there'll be some games where you might want Kyle Walker when you play France, when you play Germany. But you look at our group games, we should be starting a lot of those games with Trent in a right back role, putting him into the midfield, putting him out wide, that allows Saka to go on the inside where he likes to be. Trent Alexander-Arnold must start, in my opinion. I totally agree. Who do you prefer, Gabriel Jesus or Julian Alvarez? Alvarez, probably. But yeah, we're talking England tonight, my friend. But thank you for the super chat. He's trying to play to Ineos as to why he should get the job, but he's proving why he shouldn't be the United coach. Well, look, I mean, I like the idea of him playing more expansively, and I get that. That isn't my issue, but it's when he's decided to do it on the eve of a tournament without these players collectively and together working on that. You want to be working towards that as a unit for a period of time. We're just going to do it now. There you go, guys. 2 games, and we're going to change the way we play. It's when you say it out loud, it's just mental. It's absolutely mental. It really, really is. And Tony, thank you. 13 months as a member, you absolute legend. Darren here says, get Space Jam vibes from this England team. There certainly was a lot of that tonight. There really, really was. Burnt veggies at rehearsal dinner rather than at the wedding dinner. That's how you learn what to change. I'd put my trust in England's best manager since 1966. Look, I understand that, and I hope we have a great tournament, and I hope we win, and I hope I'm proven wrong about Southgate. But what tonight demonstrated to me is that in the cold, hard light of day, it was just another sort of notch on the bedpost towards when it really matters, we're going to fall short. We're going to fall short. I knew Iceland would beat England again. Saka, crap. I mean, look, Saka came on. I wouldn't call him crap. How long did he actually have to impact the game? This is the thing for me. I'm not singling out one individual. I didn't think Saka was particularly good, but I wouldn't say he was, I wouldn't single him out as crap. Nobody really tonight. I thought that Rice and I thought that Mainu put in decent performances. Gay, he was okay, was good actually. I think Cole Palmer's approach, play and passing was excellent. It was just when he had those two, but the problem is he had those two chances to make it 1-1 and then 2-1, and the game would have been different. And I think maybe Iceland would have opened up and we would have relaxed a little bit more. The crowd would have got up. And in international football, those moments matter. And I said this on the Top 6 show last night, and I pray to God I'm wrong. I pray to God that I am wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong. But I feel we're going to have not enough experience. Not enough experience going to this tournament, in my opinion. That's my gut feeling towards this right now. Terry Foden in an England shirt needs to be spoken about. Look, I'm going to defend Foden, though. He wasn't good tonight, but where I'm going to defend Foden is that we typically play quite pragmatically, which is the opposite to how he plays at Manchester City. And I'm defending him because for many years I've defended the Paul Scholeses, who actually had a very good England career, the Wayne Rooneys and co. When everybody said, why don't they perform for England like they do United? It's because typically in their careers, they didn't have a manager as good as Fergie, and we didn't play football as good as Manchester United because they weren't trained, coached, drilled, and instructed to do that. What's now happened? The manager's gone, right, we're going expansive, but with a group of players that haven't played that way together before, it's not going to go down well. It isn't. It's just like, I'm not singling the geezer out. I think he's an excellent talent, Foden. And he's the type of player that we should be building our England system around. We should have been playing far more expansive football for the last few years. So by the time you get to a tournament like this, the group collectively is used to playing that way together. This idea that you can just play football wherever you go is crazy. You do need to be trained and taught. You really, really do. Mainu played a clean game, no mistakes as usual. Look, I thought Mainu did well tonight. There was one mistake in the second half that really stood out. We tried to dribble past a few people and got caught in possession. But that happens, and you want a player at times looking to break lines. But we had cover that won the ball back. I thought him and Rice, as I say, they did the midfield job as best they could. They were told to push up. That did leave space for counterattacks, but that's the manager's system. I've seen journalists go at Rice and go at Mainu, and I'm going to defend both. When the manager wants a single pivot to be remaining and these fullbacks to go up, you leave yourself exposed to counterattacks. The manager's instructions, that isn't the players being lazy. But of course, tribalism will kick in. Arsenal fans will defend Mainu. United fans will attack Mainu. United fans will attack Rice. And actually, the problem was Gareth Southgate. But there we go. Harry Scary here. Thank you very much for becoming an official member. The way things are going at the moment, it's safe to say that Shamina Begum has got a better chance of coming home. I won't speak on that. No, we don't defend Foden. They hate on Trent. Look, I get it, but I'm talking here from an England point of view, and I think that that's our issue with our system. Shaw has to be in the squad. Has not been in the squad so far. Even though I ain't the biggest fan of Chilwell, I don't get why he is not in the team. Great point raised there. Listen, I thought Gomez had quite a good season at left back. Trippier can play there, but there was a number of times tonight where the ball was played out to Trippier, and what you need is a left-footed left back who can whip that ball into the box, who can whip it into the box first time. Cuts back, puts it on his right. You're playing with an inverted fullback and an inverted winger. So neither of them are crossing first time on their left, which makes it easier for the defense to set. And that's only one element of one problem within sort of a vat of issues, but it's another one. Terry, as a Liverpool fan, hate towards Sorry, as a Liverpool fan, hate towards United, but I celebrated David Beckham's goal against Greece. Do for any England player, you are supporting England. And no, and I get it. And listen, if you're not an England fan, I understand why you would still be tribalistic over these players. I do. But if you're an England fan, you want England to do well, just drop the tribalism, support your nation, and call things out for what they are. Terry, the next manager will play the same way. It doesn't matter. Foden, absolute shocker. I can see us getting knocked out of the group stages. I haven't watched England properly since 2016. I gave up. They need to earn my trust. Well, Nav, I mean, they've done well at the last two tournaments. The last 2 or 3 tournaments, really, there've been some really good moments. Southgate, though, ultimately, in all of them, in the end, made mistakes that fouled us. But we've had some good tournaments, and I'm hoping we have another good tournament. I'm really hoping we do well at this tournament. I don't care if people say it's an easy draw or whatever. I just want to win the damn thing. But I'm far more nervous going into this tournament than I was the previous 3. The inexperience, the lack of playing time together, the lack of goals in the overarching squad worries me massively. And you saw tonight what this game kind of needed. And I'm not saying they should have been in the squad on form. But this is the kind of game where a Jack Grealish or more so a Marcus Rashford can do something out of nothing. And we don't have very many players that are proven at the highest level of being able to do something out of nothing. It's not their fault. They've never been there. It's a big risk. Foden stunk the F out of Wembley. No, he did today, but so did most of the players, Matt. So did most of the players. I would say Harry Kane, out of everybody, probably had the worst game. He missed an absolute sitter. Cole Palmer missing great chances, as an example. I thought that Anthony Gordon was absolutely non-existent. I thought Jones, I know he had a bit of an injury, so you got maybe give a bit of leeway, was shocking. Kyle Walker, I just thought, general play okay, but he got caught out of position twice. That one led to a goal, one should have done. Multiple players with issues there. I was told Cole Palmer and Foden will carry England. PR Merchant, English Fellaini, not needed. Palmer, Mainu, and Foden all apparently 10 times Jude. Well, again, look, what I don't do is start attacking one English player with another and start these agendas like I don't do internally with Manchester United. Jude Bellingham doesn't have some of the same attributes as Foden, Palmer, and Mainu. But Jude Bellingham might end up being that guy that can turn up out of nothing and score us a goal. He's phenomenal at that. He's been brilliant all season at doing it. Again, anyone claiming to be an England fan that's playing players off against one another, I ain't got any time for. It doesn't help the country. It doesn't help the team. It's shrouded in your club bias as opposed to what you actually think. And you see it all, people in the group chat today, players they want in the team and don't want in the team. I can almost tell who people want in and want out based on the club they support. And that's why I know they're in the group chat, Football Terrace group chat, love you all. But I ignore most of that bullshit because I'm like, it's just shrouded in your club bias or clubs that you dislike not wanting certain people. And you're not being honest with yourselves. And it's just, honestly, it's to a point now with what I do, I just find that kind of talk boring. Gordon was in the correct positions, but no end products. Yeah, poor. Being in the correct position is half the job, I suppose. The other half is delivering, and he just didn't do it. Hey, happy to join and be part of the Terrace. Enjoy the show, Terry. I love how people like to single out Saka, but don't criticize anyone else. Well, look, Saka deserves his criticism this season at times, and I've given it to him, and I'll give it to him in an England shirt. But I won't not single out other people because it needs to happen. And what I will say, and I'll reiterate it again in case you're just tuning in, when it comes to the Gordons and the Palmers criticism, I'm not particularly frustrated at them. They're not senior stakeholders in this England team. They are fledglings at this level, and they need to be helped and supported by the experienced players. I just don't know if we have enough of those experienced players in the squad. When you think about this, I still think the starting 11, I think you might see Mainu start. I'm not too sure. But you're going to see Bellingham go into that 10 role. You're going to see Foden go out to the left, and you're probably going to see Saka start on the right. That's what I think will happen for the first game, if Saka's fit. But then we're bringing on Palmers and Eze's and Gordons and the like to change the game. And I've got nothing against all three of those players. I think there's some real talent in there. But when there's no experience at international level, it's a big risk. Arsenal fan here. I've lost all belief in Rambo. He's done. Yeah, a lot of the commentators and pundits tried to defend him. I did think he was, he was definitely caught sort of flat-footed. Stones didn't help him with the way he challenged, but yeah, it was poor from Ramsdale. Rambo can't save the medium to difficult shots. I agree. Everyone was poor, and everyone targeting Foden. Blame the manager, one of the best squads in Europe, and they lost to Iceland. You ain't real England fans. Thank you, bro. Nav here says Saka, world-class. Foden, so-called world-class. No. Messi is world-class. Ronaldo is world-class. R9, Zidane, these lots. Nah, you're not fooling me. I see through these so-called stars. All talk big, never deliver. Well, look, if the definition of world-class is Messi, then you're right. Then there's very few people that are world-class. So again, it all depends on your definition of where you put those people. A lot of people put those players you've mentioned like above world-class. So again, it depends on your own personal categorization. So I understand and I respect that. Never deliver. Look, I've definitely seen Phil Foden deliver in the Champions League and in the Premier League. I want to see him deliver in an England shirt, though. So that element I totally agree with. But I think a part of that is the system. I really do think a part of that is the system that you play in. I really, really do. I really, really do. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. Look, I want to thank you all for tuning in this evening. It's only a quick stream for this friendly. We're back tomorrow with more news, transfers, gossip, whatever it may be. What's it say? Embarrassing chats Terry needs to reply to. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. There's probably a few, but I don't read all the chat. It's impossible. It's fun. It's physically impossible to me read it. Terry, don't look at the chat. It's toxic. I mean, it is what it is. I ignore the toxic people because they're not important. Gordon non-existent, Terry. Nah, I don't know what that word means. Whiling, is that what you're saying? Whiling. Look, when I say non-existent, Don, this is maybe how you and I see football differently. He was involved. He made some great runs. He found himself in the right positions, but his end product and his delivery and his output, which is the most important part of his job, was non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. Poor decisions, poor shots, overhit crosses, not beating the first man. So as far as I'm concerned, being in the right position, I'll give you a good, if I'm going to mark you, give you a good mark for that. Well done. Making the right runs, excellent. If there's no delivery, if the shots are all poor, everything else was for nothing. So that is what I mean by it. Hopefully, now you understand what I mean. You don't think that I'm whiling about him, because if you think that's a good performance, I know you like to think you know ball, but a forward with no end product, what is that like? Do you know what I mean? It's like a lingerie shop with no front window. Pointless. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? You need a little. It's like an impotent porn star. What's the point? You know, you got the body, you got the looks, but it don't go up. What's the point, bro? Do you know what I mean? Kyle Farmer. Look, I don't think Kyle Palmer should be overly attacked tonight. Like I've said, I thought his approach play was good. I thought the cross that he put into Harry Kane was sublime. Harry Kane shinned it. Where I will criticize Palmer is when he had the chance to score, he messed it up twice. And at this level of football we're going into, knockout tournament football, international level, you've got to do much, much, much better than that. You really do. Do United fans still want Southgate over Ten Hag? Bro, please. I'm going to be objective about it, but I don't want it. I just don't want it at all. Kai Havertz scores again. Oh, did he score for Germany? I haven't even checked any of those other scores tonight at all. I haven't checked any of it whatsoever because I was focused here. Calling Saka and Foden world class is ignorance, completely ignorance. They are good players, but not anywhere close to world class. Again, it all depends upon your definition of what world class is. I'm not saying you are personally wrong. I'd love to hear how you rate world class, who's in those categories. You know, there are some people that will name Messi as the previous super chat did. You'll have some people that say you've got to be best 3 in the world, best 5, top 5 in the world, irrespective of how good number 1 is. So some will say it's a player that, you know, plays internationally at a good level. You know, it all depends on your definition. But I do hear what you're saying, but I'd love to hear your definition, my friend. What does it say here? People criticizing Saka and not Foden and Palmer, who do nothing all game, need to check it. Listen, again, if you're just singling out one and saying the others were great, you're a liar. It's as simple as that to me. You're a liar. England are going to struggle against these low block teams. If Serbia and Slovenia stink up the place, how do we go through? We will struggle. We will struggle. Look, I want to thank everybody that has tuned in. You know how much I respect you all so much. The super chatters, you're amazing. Back tomorrow with more content for you. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon.